Recently, I had a YouTube video hit my timeline, and it's rare for a YouTube video to kind of stop me in my tracks and go, wait a minute, what is that movie? I'm a little curious. It's something that I think that I have some experience in, and I lived through that, and I might have some personal stake in this. And this was just one such video from a YouTuber by the name of Nico with a video on the most heartbreaking match in Smash history. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I know this picture very well. And I'm pretty curious as to the documentation of this because it's 30 minutes. So I'm curious as to this. So I want to watch it and see how it went as somebody who commentated it. By the way, the most watched Smash set in history. With my voice on it. This is the most heartbreaking match in Smash history by Nico. Can we drop a sub? Let's get to 10K. Come on, guys.
Although nobody knew it yet, these two would
I forgot Tweek had that hair. He would always do the
become to be two of the greatest Smash Bros. Players of all time.
God, he's my GOAT. I don't know how anybody could be Leo, right? You win everything with multiple characters. You pick up mid-tiers. You dominate. Ice cold veins. Putting on classic performances under unbelievable pressure. I don't know. I think people like lean into the heel thing or like, let me make this interesting. Just being an amenable, likable, just respectable dude was like, I don't know, it was a breath of fresh air. You'll probably get into it later, but are you proud of your commentary? In general, extremely. On this set, no. Your commentary was so good here. Fool that you are. It was bad, and I'll explain why. Like and subscribe to this video if you want to hear it. My commentary on this set is not good, and I'll explain why in a bit. But you have to watch later. You have to keep watching.
Both MKLeo and Tweek have been locked in a close race for the #1 rank in the world for Smash 4's final season.
Oh, we're going to Smash 4. Hell yeah.
There's a real chance that whichever player wins this match secures rank 1 for the first
Are they
time.
going to talk about Donkey Kong? I love Donkey Kong.
Yes!
I feel so bummed out that people don't know this or don't remember this. Like, Donkey Kong as a sword character counter pick was so funny. Tweek would just pick this and Leo would be like, shit, what do I do? He should have just died here.
The 5 sets.
This is how you know Leo is scared to death. He full sent a 180 frame aerial. Normal people shouldn't be allowed to do, like, you can't do this against most players. But Leo is so scared of Donkey Kong, he lets that shit go. He pops the air dodge after. Ah! I remember that period of time where Leo did not have an answer for Donkey Kong specifically, which was very fun.
And this set was starting to seem like it was no exception.
Dude.
Tweek would take game 1 against Leo's Lucina rather convincingly.
I love jab up
and
tilt
force him
so
to
much.
seemingly pull out his last-ditch effort. Arguably the most broken character in Smash history, Bayonetta. But even with the best character in the game, Leo would fall in game 2.
I wonder if Leo would have had the best Bayonetta if he played it like consistently. It seems like an easy thing to say yes, but they don't really play to his strengths. Then again, I guess he has a lot of strengths. He did play it a lot, but not like, you know, he didn't fully commit to it.
After already overcoming so much in his career, while fighting for something beyond himself, and finally coming so close to the #1 title, it was seemingly his American bracket demon that would put his story to an end.
This game looks silly. This game, and this isn't even counting the alien abduction kills when you just get hit across the screen. Ah!
Going into game 4, with momentum turning out of his favor, Leo would bring out his 3rd character of the set, Marth.
I think Marth isn't so bad here. It's not good, but like, you know, he knows what he's doing. It is a bummer Marth is like not around anymore, you know? Marth's
Using
cool.
Marth, Leo would be able to win the tournament, and largely due to this win, secure the #1 title for the first time in his career.
Damn. 50 and 12 versus top 50. It's so funny because this was a much more competitive, like top 10, top 20, whatever it was at the PGR before he just like shit on everybody.
This match, although extremely pivotal at the moment,
was Tweek ever #1? Ooh, that's a bummer.
would pale in comparison to the sheer scale and stakes of some of their future matches, leading up to their battle on the greatest stage Smash has ever seen.
Dude, I remember specifically watching Tweek's Wario at Frostbite and like, why don't you just do this? He picked Wario and it was like a hidden boss character with fucked up stats that you have to go to post game. It was like year 1 of Ultimate, and it was like, you are moving like you have spirits on. Like, just play that. And he just never had the confidence. Now, playing Wario is very frustrating. And if you're not really ready for the volatility and like the frustration of doing it, I get it, but
Leo at CEO, Tweek wouldn't leave his bed for days. Depressed by the opportunity that seemingly fell out of his grasp. Coming out of this time,
this is not the video maker's fault. God, I would hate this. Me at my lowest, salt tweeting, just frustrated, and you know somebody's going to be like, I'll remember that. I mean, it kind of is the video maker's fault. He didn't have to include the tweet. Yeah, but I mean, if you're going to editorialize this and it's like presenting the story, I think it's important, right? Especially with the whole like sort of context. But
after coming so close to what he had played his whole life for, Tweek was determined to become the first #1 Smash Ultimate player in the world.
Dude, this Evo entry
A week after the release of
crazy.
Ultimate, Tweek was invited to one of the first high-skill competitive tournaments, where he would come to win without dropping a single set. Although it's important to mention that a key rival wasn't present, as going into the first S-Rank tournament of the season, Genesis 6, the two were seeded #1 and 2.
This was the tournament that I decided I'm done competing. This was
with this tournament shaping to be the catalyst for one of the two to take a definitive lead. However, the top-seeded player would have an early obstacle in his path.
Yo! Yeah. You see it? You see the turn? You see the runaway F smash? This is Elite Smash 101. Well, bam! This caster has some passion. He said excellent forward smash. It was, bro. Right. You know. Oh my God, dude. Look at Alpha Red. Yay. I know I say it a lot, but the air around a new Smash game is electric, bro. Look at this fucking room, man. It sounds silly to like yell and whatever, but like when you're in that room feeling the energy, it is unbelievable, man. It's so fun looking at this, right? Like this is Genesis' biggest, huge audience. God, I miss this. Fuck. It's so funny to look at this and then look at this. High school gym. We got the mats out, right? It's very funny.
3 weeks later, at Frostbite 2019, two would meet in winners finals. So far, the two were the only players with multiple major wins under their belt. And despite Leo's recent big win at Genesis, this match served as the potential way for Tweek to catch back up in the narrative.
Wonder who they
Their match would start out
at the first one.
reminiscent
Yeah,
to their
DK?
Smash 4
Okay.
matches. In that once again,
oh my God, we're on PS2. They're both gonna kill each other.
Tweek would attempt to
Oh my
surprise
God.
Leo with Donkey Kong, while Leo would stick with Ike, the character with straightforward kill combos that he won Genesis with.
What a cool, like this is why the early game is so cool, man. Like, when are you ever gonna see this matchup again besides round 1 pools at Evo from people who play a different game?
Leo proved that the mind games of old wouldn't work anymore. Tweek would switch to his new main for Smash Ultimate.
You can't do Wario. Wario Ike. Okay.
Some compare Wario to Melee Jigglypuff, in that both players tend to rely on combos into their win condition. And for Wario, it's... After missing...
I guess so. I'm surprised he didn't stick to Wario. Wario is very, very, very bad if you are prone to volatility. Because with Wario, and Tweek and I have talked about this, there are stretches where you get no hits for like a minute. What's that quote about like the world changing in a weekend and then like nothing happening for decades? That's Wario. I am a Wario player, but I do not have a Wario mind. Like I usually play like the floaty heavy with multiple jumps, but I hate the volatility of it. That's why I don't compete, because fucking I'll just run into shit. It's so frustrating. I'm just a fucking bull. And if somebody just plays like a bitch, I lose. But yeah, Wario's harder to play than people think. Oh. I know why he showed this. Oh my God, that's crazy. He gets the roll in, but he doesn't commit. Remember that. That's crazy.
Back to the center again. That's a punish for sure. Down throw. Risky with that.
Stop rolling in.
You see it too. Back down, Tweek with 3, 2 stocks in a row.
To say the least, Tweek was ecstatic to complete the reverse 3-0 in order to take the first lead in the rivalry. Leo, who just 3-0'd his previous opponent, should be the one with the momentum, but Tweek was looking to remind him of how their last set just ended.
Bro, Leo was a roll-in monster. Look at this parry attempt. Yeesh. This motherfucker keeps rolling in. Watching Leo do this is pissing me off. I'm not kidding. Because he's just doing Smash 4 rolls. Like, that was my least favorite thing about Smash 4, just bad players rolling all the time, and now good players are doing it.
And then he's knock him off the stage. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
That's really good coverage. Yeah, it's a good tech chase. Because you gotta, like, this beats tech in, and it beats tech away. Or no, this beats tech in place and tech away. But you have to send it, I think. Well, no, you see this. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You get a little bit of time. I like when Coney does frame-by-frame analysis for 6-year-old sets. It's in my blood, man. We used to do this on Panda. I think it's interesting.
Leo took the loss with grace, but the pain of defeat didn't elude him. Losing the tournament didn't only hurt his own personal claim to the #1 title, it also meant $2,500 less of a prize payout than Tweek.
What is that split? That is crazy. I don't think that's normal. We are doubling that? That's crazy.
Is that Leo would often spend a large amount of his prize money and salary to support his family back in Nalcapan, Mexico, who took on the risk of him becoming a full-time traveling Smash player. The difference between getting first or second place at a tournament often meant being able to double or triple his family income or not.
Yeah, the money goes way further in Mexico, apparently. Like when you take the USD to, there are a couple players that were doing this. It was crazy.
However, that would end up being his saving grace.
Joker, yeah. What a kid. You're just bouncing him, dude. Jesus. Put me down. What the fuck is that?
He would place second at one of the top Japanese tournaments.
Damn, Ken. Okay.
Less than a month after Joker's release. And going into the season's next
Kirby?
MomoCon 2019,
How did Kirby get here?
he was tearing through the bracket, with
Goodbye,
none of his
Kirby.
sets even being close until top 8.
Oh, shit. We're back here. Turn this shit back on, bro. Turn it back on. We'll save Smash today.
For the first time in 3 months, the two would cross paths. As well, this would be the first time Leo would use his Joker against him. Tweek's game plan as Wario wouldn't differ too much than in their previous matches, as he would have to rely on his high damage combos and win condition, waft,
Something way more disrespectful about not no putting in an input, no running, no move into it, just down and B. Stop rolling now.
But the difference for Leo was noticeable, as his older characters, such as Lucina or Ike, relied on gradually wearing down the opponents with spacing and some specific sequences. But Joker was a whole different beast, with access to multiple projectiles and his own intimidating win condition, Arsene, which made each of his moves up to twice as strong while his meter was active.
I think Arsene did so much for Leo because he is unshakable. So when you give a character that is on steroids 30% of the time, the guy who doesn't get scared or shake or is nervous is going to roll everybody. Nerves are the killer of most players. They never go away. You just learn how to deal with them better. And I say this after talking with good players, not me. I was good in an era where the crowds were very small and nobody was NBA Twittering me or making fun of me. It was way different now, It's crazy. I think everyone likes Joker now. I used to get bullied for rooting for Leo. Well, motherfucker wins everything, man. I used to stay up until 1 or 2 a.m. waiting for the tournament to end, and then Leo wins. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Why did I do
Off
that?
of his prior set win, Tweek would start out the match with Roy, a sword fighter known for his great speed and ability to kill very early.
Chop!
Ironically enough, Leo would be the one killing early, closing out a 3-star in
Yeah,
game 1.
I don't know about Roy, man.
Consequentially, Tweek would switch back to Wario and close out a close game in order to finally even things up. Up to this point, Leo had a reputation of being able to start sets strong, but Tweek would always manage to adapt to whatever new strategy Leo brought in order to take it home at the end of the day.
Tweek had insane main decision issues. Dude, in a game with 100 characters, I get it. Especially because, it's so hard to know, did I sleep the night before? Did I eat my regular intake? How am I feeling emotionally? Is there other stuff going on? All this stuff can factor into, I fucking hate Wario today. He's dead.
Although Tweek was able to make the game close, Leo's Joker was a step above his other characters he had fought, but Tweek was desperate to get another shot at him.
We're happy to welcome Super Smash Bros. Ultimate to EVO 2019.
I forgot about these shows.
EVO had announced that Smash Ultimate
things,
would be part of its lineup for 2019,
Jesus,
with
what
the
a
top
screen.
8 matches taking place in the Mandalay Bay Event Center, and this tournament was exactly what Tweek needed.
He's literally
With the
crying.
popularity of the game still at its peak, the entrance to the tournament kept climbing, soaring above any of the other S-rank tournaments from the previous year, landing at a whopping 3,534.
I wonder why. Because usually with fighting games, it's I'm going to EVO, so I'm going to enter Street Fighter and Tekken and all this stuff. But Smash doesn't have a lot of crossover. I guess it is fighting game players fuck it, I'll go drown. Because it's so casual, right? I don't think a casual player is flying to EVO. but it probably has a lot of foot traffic from people around Vegas, and then also like a lot of entry from like all the like an anime fighting game player might not play NRS games or Street Fighter, Capcom, whatever, but everybody plays Smash Brothers for fun. A large portion of them probably thought they could wing it out of sheer disrespect to plat fighters. That's true, actually. I bet I get out of pools, though. These dudes don't know shit.
Tweek would compete at Low Tier City 7 with his new trademark character, Pokemon Trainer, and it was safe to say his time away from tournaments hadn't been wasted.
I don't like Pokemon Trainer. The idea is like, you can do anything. What a versatile character. You can pick 3 different matchups. You do the same thing. For the privilege of getting 3 characters, you get like worse Inkling, worse Hero, and worse Bowser. You know, Ivy is worse Rob. I'm just saying that because of Dare.
Tweek would hardly drop a game throughout the entire pool section of the bracket. And besides one close match in top 32 against Proto Banham, Tweek would have a dominant run all the way to winner's final. Leo's winner's side top 32 match would be against top Japanese player Kameme.
Kamemushi, which means, what does that mean? I don't remember that, but I remember Gambaranai, which means I am not trying, which is very funny.
He was the type of player to make it far in bracket, but
that's
never
my
be a true
retired single
threat to
father.
win.
Bro, Kamamushi, I'll never forget. I was at Pound, and like, you gotta understand, Japan historically in Smash has been kind of infantilized. Like, they would come over and people like, oh, this guy's so nice, he's so cute, they're so respectful, they're so nice, in a way that I think is like kind of weirdly, I don't want to say dehumanizing, but like the way that people did it was that. And I walked outside and he's smoking a cigarette, and I was like, oh, he's smoking a cigarette? Like an adult? If it makes you feel better, Japan does the same thing to Americans. Wait, really? Is that true? That's cute. I thought they hated us, but I think that's just light. They hate light. Mega Man is so cool, man. I feel like he's so hard to play in these situations. Like, you kind of fish for bear, and that's it. You, like, pray to God you try to get this bear, and then eventually you just, you know. Does Mega Man fit your definition of a good character? No, because I think his setups are too contrived. I think you need a very reliable, easy setup to, like, at a certain point, you will get a kill. You need like a through line into a kill that isn't just like, I really hope this works. I think any character you have to be creative with is inherently worse. I have felt that pain with Inkling, and like that was a bad character. So like that's sort of what I think I project onto the rest of the cast. So
Back here, right above. And I think MKLeo might be the inevitability to look out for.
okay, remember that. Was that the first set?
Again,
That was the first set. I said it from the beginning. He is literally going to win the tournament.
Tweek is rolling.
Okay, the bike finally knocking Tweek out of his momentum, but he's not done. He has the opportunity, but he misses the up air. And another chance, but he switches one.
but
That's crazy. Spot dodge fart. I saw some criticism of the commentary over this whole top 8 about us being a little bit too loud, a little bit too crazy. And I get it. I do understand. It is, if you listen to this, we are children on Christmas morning. It's a little wild. But, dude, the energy was nuts. It was the best top 8 still to this day. It felt something about that moment. We hadn't been there before, you know? Like 3,500 people, Evo top 8. We were the last game, you know? It was crazy. Fuck that, it's your job to hype it. Yeah, but like, there's a fine line between hype and obnoxious. You know what and then I think I crossed it.
Can he catch him? But no.
No, what?
He's on it.
He didn't
Yeah.
have watts. He might have had half watts, but it wouldn't be enough. Gets the back air. He's going to try to.
What is the
find
audio?
Rivalry. And
What,
that's
am I
the-
underwater?
It's not enough. He reads the rule in, and Tweek is going to grand.
Tweek proved
See? You get it now? You see? It's a little much. You gotta remember, man, it was a big it was unbelievable. The voice cracks are crazy. Listen, I've been talking a lot that weekend.
for Tweek, this match, with over 250,000 people watching, was his opportunity to prove to the world, but more importantly himself, that he was truly the best player in the world.
I forgot about that. There are 250,000 people watching this stream. We had the stream up, like, and in between breaks, we would bring up the phone. We're like, that can't be real.
For Leo, the difference between first and second place in terms of prize money was over $14,000, meaning potentially securing the win would mean the world for his family.
It's crazy that Smash's peak was like the average League of Legends match in 2018. You know, it's crazy for me to think about. I'll see like Smash majors, right? And like they would hit like, I don't know, 20K, 25K. There are people on Twitch that can get that in their bedroom. doom queuing. Like that's a huge major that is the culmination of a community-wide effort and group of like production and all that stuff. It's crazy. But I mean, like that's, that not to say that that's an issue or a problem. The Tetris World Championships get like 100 viewers. It's just, Smash is smaller than people think it is. Yes and no. Yes, in that it is like the competitive scene is very small, knowing that it is the best-selling fighting game and like it has the widest net. You can get people invested. I feel like Smash casuals now engage more with the competitive scene than they ever did, and they always will have this passing interest of like, how's my favorite character? I love Samus. How's Samus doing? If Nintendo funded Smash tournaments and promoted it, do you think it could be the biggest fighting game on the planet? Nintendo wouldn't even have to be involved. It would be the biggest fighting game on the planet. The sponsors that were signed on, I don't want to get in trouble. We just need community shifts? I don't know. My point is that you wouldn't even need Nintendo involved. You would just need them to, like, get out of the way.
From both players' perspectives, they weren't only playing one matchup, but rather three. Generally, Squirtle was the character Tweek would use early in stocks due to his great combos. For Leo, without Arsene, Joker was still a great character,
game, though, maybe.
but lacked some of his stronger combos that he otherwise had. But rather than relying on the strength boost of Arsene, Leo would show that his Joker was always a character to be.
Squirtle keeps making this face. Stop! Just yelling below the platform. Stop! It does look like the colon D face. Wait. There he is right there. Cool. Stop!
A common talking point in the community was that although Leo may have been the best player in the world, Tweek's peak was higher. And so far,
everybody did say that. That was super common. It was like Leo is the best, like, on a even level, but Tweek has higher highs, but lower lows. He could lose to anybody. And then he had that goblin streak. Remember that? Lost a goblin like 8 times. That's a little corny. I don't think so. I think it's a fine way to think about the realities of tournament environments and the random chance of bracket and like the things that affect your mental are like big deals, man.
But it's likely that there was a unique pressure in this situation and a mental dialogue trying to suppress his excitement of victory, but also the nerve-wracking thought, don't choke.
Have any of you guys ever been here as a competitor in anything? That feeling is indescribable. I still sometimes think about this moment and what this must have been like. Whenever I was like up 2-0 in a tournament finals, I would do the opposite. I would think about, I wonder where I'm going to go eat after I win. And I would sometimes lose because it was very hard for me to lock back in. I just couldn't, I do the opposite where I'm like, yeah, I get him now. It's easy. Stupid.
As well as another set seems so out of the realm of possibility that he almost felt as if the burden of losing wasn't on him. As for Tweek, that potential burden was one game closer. But still, at least he had the leeway of 2 more games to play with in this set.
It's funny because Leo does not feel the pain of being down 0-2, but you feel the pain of being up 2-0. You're fighting the Iceman, who never fears anything. And you know he's not going to be affected by this. Jesus.
Once again, Tweek was 1 stock away from winning Evo. This time around, it wasn't an even stock count.
Jesus, man.
He was up 3 stocks to 1. With the odds greatly in his favor, all he had to do was close it out. And
so this is the set I've both gotten a lot of shit for, and I have personally not been proud of my commentary here. If you listen to this set, Tweek is up 3-1 on Leo in stocks and 2-1 in games. But if you listen to it, the commentators are cheering for Tweek, which is like, what the fuck? Why are they doing that? Do they not fuck with Leo? The commentators clearly are like building up this idea of Tweek like defeating Leo and like overcoming the odds because they are racist. Right, exactly. We were. But it's because if you watch this within the context of just this one set, it looks like we really want Tweek to win. But if you watch the whole top 8, it is abundantly clear that Leo is winning the tournament. Like, he is playing better than anybody. He is just iron all the way through. Nobody is touching this fucking guy. And finally, somebody seems to have found an answer. Maybe. Even at 3 stocks to 1, you don't really believe it. I say something about the wind, like some weird winds are blowing. As soon as Leo takes a stock, you feel it. The energy shifts. As a commentator, how do you stop being biased? I think you just be a professional. I think you just say the good things that both of them are doing. And I think it takes an experienced co-caster to also be able to do the other side. There have been times where I've been with a very biased caster who will always gas up their boy, and I go on the other side. I'm like, all right, but what about this dude? And I'll talk about that. But this time, the storyline really was like, Tweek cannot beat this fucking guy. This is the biggest stage. Is he gonna choke? Yeah, you can kind of feel it in that moment.
Right, and look at Leo coming alive right now. 74% and poor little Squirtle cannot handle Leo. Right, and look at Leo
Dude, this moment
right now.
where he's like, fuck it, I got a stock to play with. I'll swap here. Dead at 90. This is when it gets real, bro. I genuinely think this is something you do because you're like, I'm up a stock. I got house money. I still have a whole stock up. And then you send it and you realize truly how terrible it was. Do you think that was Tweek's biggest mistake? Nope. That's the roll that's about to happen.
One hit away from closing the door on MKLeo's miraculous comeback, Tweek just had to find his opening. And that moment supposedly came. As Leo slowly walked towards his shield, if Tweek released an up smash here, he would be the Evo champion.
Oh, I never even
Except
thought of that.
He couldn't bring himself to take the risk, and Leo knew it.
Oh! Good God, man. What a brutal, fucked up thing to do to another human being.
The world in which he loses 3 games in a row and has to play a second set, now much more real. Just games earlier, Tweek had been going even with Leo,
A lot of roll-ins.
and closing out games due to his refined X Factor. But now,
Another swap, dude. He's
Leo.
drowning here.
And closing out games due to
What
his
do you? How do you
refined X
get
Factor.
off? Leave
But
me
now, he was starting
alone,
out
man.
behind. Final best of 5 set for Evo started out the exact opposite
Yeah,
way
you
as the
can-
prior. with Leo
I
now
mean, at this point, it's over, right?
taking
Like,
charge.
Leo wins
However,
one
Tweek
set.
didn't
He's
want to let
not losing the
momentum
next one.
snowball.
Just so tricky. Uses the
Got the roll in, you know.
Closing all the windows, shuttering the doors.
I mean, dude, the oh no was he did a fucking flare blitz off screen. What a weird thing to do.
Leo seemed
Swap bear.
like the player unable to close it out.
Uh,
Tweek knew it. He had to go for
Thanks,
one
BKN.
hard read to kickstart his comeback and make him believe that he could still be the Evo champion.
yeah, this is when you send something crazy.
Waiting for the third jab. So smart.
You have to
He's
go
gonna try to
low.
Can he
There.
strike it? He
No.
mistimes it. MKLeo
That's it. Like the first thing he does, he gets up and he's like,
2019 Evo champion.
It is
he's
said
like,
that
shh, that guy's sad.
Leo didn't have some grand
He's like,
pop-up
that dude is
after
bummed
winning
out.
because he
Damn.
thought of what
Like,
it would do.
oh,
Leo, although ecstatic at the manner of his win,
yay!
and at the fact that his dreams had just come true, took the win with class. Tweek, as this tournament would come to be the closest Tweek would ever be to the #1 rank. As well, the following year, it was announced that Nintendo had asked for Smash.
Why? What would you do if you were Tweek here? You don't want me to say. I would pop my ultimate ability.
This tournament would lead Leo to another #1 ranking, and a period of dominance which had given him the title of the greatest ultimate player of all time in many people's eyes.
Damn, and now he's not even the GOAT anymore. Isn't that crazy? A lot of people wouldn't even call him the GOAT no more. They got a Cola, they got Mia.
Most
Tough.
importantly, give him the level of success to move his family to a safer part of Mexico. These two players
Cool.
both had their own wild
didn't know that.
dreams
That's
for
awesome.
how their career, that in every dream-esque win, there's a dream-crushing defeat on the other side.
I thought there was a roll-in that Tweek didn't get. Maybe that's what it was
Position.
to
that
set that up. Because, like, maybe this is the conditioning. Like, Leo rolls in, Tweek sees it, he doesn't punish it, and then Tweek rolls in. Because he's like, I guess. This. Roll in, no pun. Yeah, that. You know. You get weirdly fixated on it, and then you subconsciously choose the same thing. That's a good movie. Everybody, let's go subscribe to Seven Nico right now with the most heartbreaking match in Smash history. We watched this one, but they also had the most one-sided rivalry in Smash history. The strongest man of all time's ultimate test. I want to watch that too. What the fuck? These are good-ass movies. Check it out, everybody.